it feels like at least a lot of teams and everything jumped on the UE5 hype.
Oh.
And now we're seeing the results of that essentially. But anyway, we'll get into that in a second. If you guys haven't been hearing though, one of the biggest reveals to come out of the Summer's Game Fest / E3 season was a game called Expedition 33. Now, weird naming aside, this game is looking to be what a lot of old school RPG fans are looking for, because it is real-time turn-based commands, and everyone was talking about it. And it's actually supposed to be launching sometime in 2025, which is awesome. So we've got things, obviously, like we just stated, turn-based RPG with real-time elements. Timing is key for attack and defense. Battle system requires quick reflexes and strategic thinking. Turn-based commands. Turn order is displayed on screen. Skills and special abilities are key. Dodging and parrying are crucial. Perfect parrying can trigger a powerful counterattack. Each character has a unique playstyle / abilities, and just the list keeps going on and on. And if you guys saw the 6-minute gameplay that we saw that was literally released today at the time of this recording, it is looking very, very promising. And the fact that they showed this off and the game's not supposed to release until sometime next year, which if I had to take a wild guess, I'm going to say August next year. This is a wild guess. So let's just say they still have an extra year to be this confident and just show straight gameplay. No cuts, no cutscenes, nothing. Just here you go, 6 minutes of gameplay, go. Like that's impressive to me. That shows they are confident with it. Now, the one thing that's still kind of to me is the fact it's on UE5. We'll get into that in a little bit, but it's looking to be very good. So I will say this though before I let you two talk about this real quick. Support this game. For everyone that claims that they want turn-based, style RPG games to be coming back and everything, buy this game. Put your money where your mouth is.
And support the homie Ben Starr. Editor put Ben Starr right on the screen.
Right there.
That guy's the fucking man.
Yes, he's awesome. He played Clive in Final Fantasy 16. He's one of the main characters in this upcoming game. Like the dude is he's a good actor. He's really good.
He's a nice guy too. He's like one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Our own little Bobby actually met him at the Game Awards, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I talked to him about Final Fantasy VIII for like 10 minutes. And he's just so hyped about it. And I was like, this man is nerding out with me right now. And it's really fucking cool.
Well, the dude's just a gamer in general, right? I mean, like the guy will talk about games back when we were growing up and everything, when he was growing up, obviously. The dude cosplays as Tifa from Final Fantasy VII sometimes. Like the dude is like he's got some good takes as well in terms of games. And it's just like the dude's awesome. Like he just really is. I've never met him. If I get a chance to meet him at TGS here at the end of the month, like I'm gonna talk to him. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, and his Twitter is hilarious. He's done videos with Ralph Ineson, just other actors and stuff, like doing the guy who played Astarion, right? Astarion, excuse me. Yeah. He's just done all sorts of like shorts and skits with a bunch of other voice actors, and it's just great.
Are you someone who loves to game but just can't find the time? Want to finally jump into the brand new game Black Myth Wukong, or maybe just a quick online match with the boys, but that crazy schedule of yours just won't allow it? Whether it be school, full-time job, family, or anything else you can think of, throw on top of that having to make dinner and clean up after, which, let's be honest, nobody likes to do. Well, today is your lucky day. Factor is the best place to get chef-prepared meals on the table in 2 minutes that are not only ready to go, but extremely healthy and tasty. I mean, just look at all these options right here. My personal top 3 picks would have to be the roasted garlic chicken, honey mustard pork chops, and that creamy Parmesan chicken. Yeah, I'm definitely eyeing that one right there. Or maybe you just need something for breakfast. The smoky bacon and cheddar egg bites definitely make my mouth water a little bit. It gives you the protein you need for the day and can also get in some much needed gaming sessions. All you have to do in order to get all of this is just click the link in the pinned comment to get 50%. Yes, you heard me, 50%. That is half off the normal price of your first Factor box. And you will also get 20% off your next month's order. Also, to top it all off, you don't need to order something for every day. Only need meals for 2 days out of the week? No problem. One thing I especially love about Factor is that you can actually skip weeks, which means that you are not charged and you can start back up whenever you want. That saves you money when you need it, and you can still get in those sweet gaming sessions. So, What the heck are you waiting for? Hit the link, sign up, and use the code that you see on screen to get 50% off now.
That being said, about the game, what do we think about this game, guys?
I think it looks
Looks
good.
cool.
I think it looks really good. I mean, it kind of reminds me of, again, your typical turn-based RPG stuff, but it's using some of those mechanics even that we saw back in Mario RPG, if I remember correctly, where you can time blocks and, you know, dodges and everything. It's really going to keep you on your toes. It's going to keep you on your toes. I can tell you that much right now.
That's one of those things that is super engaging, and I'm so shocked that like RPGs just like don't use that like 90% of the time. It keeps you in the game so much more than just like, okay, let me hit like X to attack and then go select this.
But
like when you have to time stuff and when you have to actively think about what you're doing in the battle versus just like pressing, you know, I don't know if it's turn-based, but like once Square introduced that in the 90s, that should have been like a thing everybody like puts in, and it's very rare that you see it. It's weird.
But RPG of the Year, Yakuza 8 had that. How could you
That's
forget
true.
about
That's
RPG
true.
of the Year?
That's
Yakuza
true.
8.
Yakuza 8 did go back.
It did.
Okay, and it's not.
I
It's
don't
not,
like
it's
it.
not
I don't
Yakuza 8.
like
It's like a
dodging.
dragon. Get the name right now, dude. Come on.
I think it's Yakuza Like a Dragon 8. I think it's still called Yakuza in the States.
Regardless, though, yeah, you are correct. Though they did go back to a turn-based style system, and I mean, if I remember correctly, the reviews for that game were extremely well. It sold really well and everything, so that's great. And that released at the end of January or something like that, where, you know, most times games don't do the greatest at that particular moment, but
Yeah, that was this year, right?
it was this year. Yeah, because
Yeah, I didn't.
because
I didn't
Lemon
play that
has
one,
been
but-
doing nothing but complaining about just these crazy RPGs coming out because he doesn't have any time to game and his backlog is so
Those and
what was it? You went straight from Like a Dragon 8 into a different game.
Final Fantasy.
No, I thought you went Persona then Final Fantasy.
No.
Or it's the other way around. Okay, regardless though. So you went Like a Dragon, Final Fantasy, Rebirth, then you went into Persona, and then you went into Shin Megami eventually. Like it wasn't back to back there, but that was your next
yeah,
RPG.
I feel like there's another. I feel there's another RPG I played.
I don't know. But
It's gonna
regardless,
kill me now.
you've been playing a ton of
Yeah.
RPGs this year,
Ton
and
of
you're just
RPGs
like,
this year.
they take forever.
Yeah, and I have too much. Work to do.
That's the struggle of being a JRPG fan.
Exactly.
No, not even old. It's just a JRPG fan.
Well, no,
Yeah, it's
because
just
like
RPG.
back in the day, I could
Well,
like summer
was gonna say,
break
when
and
you're-
stuff just burn through them.
Yeah, when you're a teenager, but
Yeah.
they were also, you know, you would be like, oh, this game's last forever. It's like 30 hours, and now it's like,
Yeah.
Rebirth is like 150 hours.
I'm
you
not
know?
complaining. Rebirth was awesome.
Sure, but like at the same time, it's harder to keep up with. So like that's why I have to be very selective with my JRPGs now because it's like I don't have as much time to do it, and I don't want to get into it and then stop. Like I've kind of like fallen off of Rebirth. Like I go into it like every week or two and play for like 4 or 5 hours, and then like I go back and because I'm just like I know this game has another 100 hours of shit to it. You know, it's like, and I can't just like burn through it all at once. But at the same time,
sure.
I can't put it down because I keep wanting to play it. So I keep going back to it. But it's just like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like 45, 50 hours in now. Okay. I know I still got like 100 hours of shit to do in this game. All right. I'll come back to it like Wednesday or so, you know, like
Exactly.
And, yeah. And that's the struggle with JRPGs nowadays because all of them are great. But one thing I noticed about this is it looks like, I don't know, to me, it's like, Square made Persona.
No, I got one better.
Okay.
Remember Mistwalker, the Sakaguchi studio that did Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey?
Yeah.
It's giving me those vibes. It's this like modern kind of HD graphics with old school gameplay, and it's screaming that to me right now. It's like this just feels like what if, you know, Square Enix didn't go down the path of making action games? What if they stuck with a more tried and true RPG that wasn't cel shaded? It's a full-on cool-looking graphics kind of modern game. That's what I'm getting from this game.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping it delivers, because if it does, I'm hoping there'll be more games like it.
The thing that worries me about this, though, and I know it's early gameplay because, right, it is like Talon, you said it's coming out in like a year, basically, right?
Sometime in 2025. We don't know exactly when it's going to be coming out, but it will be coming out in 2025.
Okay. So, like, let's say it comes out next year. Let's say it comes out third quarter. right?
Yeah, that's why I said August. I said give them an extra year, we'll be good to go.
Yeah, but right now everything's at 30 FPS, and maybe they're like, oh yeah, PS5 Pro to be 60. See, like this would make me upgrade to a PS5 Pro. They're like, you can run it on 60 on that. I'd be like, yeah, all right, you got me.
I mean, okay, you know what I mean? Maybe again, I'm not a developer or anything, but I can't imagine they cannot get this game to 60 FPS.
Unreal 5 sucks, man.
I know it does. I know, but if they have a good, a performance mode, like they should be able to know.
So I'm just going to point out that you're effectively asking for double the amount of frames per second. Right?
I know, but it's not 4K and yada yada, marketing, ray tracing. I know that stuff. But I mean, even Lemon and I were talking about this late earlier on in the week, where we're just like, you know what? It definitely, because again, this is when Wukong came out. Wukong, fun game, but clearly a lot of issues in terms of performance and some of the effects and everything, where it feels like UE5 was sold as like this, like, oh my god, big engine upgrades, you can transfer over from 4 no problem and all that stuff, and you'll be good to go. And then it's just kind of like, yeah, it's kind of been killing performance especially on consoles, but even on PCs and everything. So I mean, that's why when that whole interview came out with the leader of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and they're talking about maybe going to Unreal Engine 5 or staying on 4. I'm like, no, stay on 4. You guys have a ton of custom engine stuff with that engine. Do not go to 5.
Yeah,
it is going to absolutely wreck Part 3, and in the worst way possible. And, I've even seen like videos from Digital Foundry saying, oh yeah, they should go to UE5. I'm like, dude, no, just don't do it.
UE5 is just it's a monster. And one of the things to look forward to though is that frame generation. And obviously, we've heard PS5 Pro is going to have that upscaling on its own.
Is it based off DLSS or is it based off of FS3 though?
It's custom, so you have to. Yeah, it would have to be based on FS3, but from my understanding, it's custom, and you got to understand Mark Cerny is disgustingly talented. So if he was the guy leading that, then I feel like it's going to be pretty solid. But the main thing is, like, I'm playing First Descendant right now, and they added on PlayStation frame gen, right? And it looks pretty solid. But the Clair Obscur, this overall looks like a great RPG.
It is. It's looking like a very, very good RPG. I will say though, for everyone who hasn't played a turn RPG in quite some time, don't expect it to be a 1-to-1 like back in the Final Fantasy 3 days or anything like that. There's as we stated before, and there's a lot of mechanics where it's still in real time. It's not press a button. Oh, I can put my controller down and go do this and everything. So sorry, Lemon, you can't deal with that stuff. Nope. So just realize it's not going to be exactly what you think. So it still looks really fun though. I'm not knocking it for that stuff. I'm just saying, if for any kind of old school gamers, just know that's what it's
not going to be exactly the same thing. Yeah. Which, like I said, I personally enjoy when a game, because I like turn-based RPGs. They're fun, and like it does give you that really casual sense of like, okay, it starts battle and I'm gonna go grab some water and just leave it there for my turn, right?
Right.
But like having something where it's like, okay, you got your turn, and if you don't attack, like the enemy might attack you, or you have to time things just right. Like all that stuff is engaging. Like it brings you further into the gameplay, and I think just more turn-based RPGs need to do that. Even Sea of Stars did that. They added that timing thing, which is really cool.
Yeah. So and it seems like they're innovating on certain things that you can do with it, right? Well, I mean, like, because in the gameplay they showed, like either perfect dodging or blocking and everything, right? Depending. And again, this is something we saw back in like Mario RPG and everything like that. So again, it's taking a concept that people like, but they're innovating on it. So just don't expect it to be some kind of 1-to-1 thing, and then.
Man, I'm watching this trailer again. It's just gorgeous.
It is. It looks really good. So just hit the 60 FPS. That's all I'm gonna say. But again, I know it's UE5.
It's a JRPG. Well, it's JRPG, turn-based RPG. You don't need. Be happy with 30. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh my god, he sounds like the developer of Avowed.
I know, right?
It's cinematic.
Cinematic.
I mean,
no, I think
you'll
the
hit
FSR
60
3
on
might help.
PC at least.
you know, they could have it be where it's got like a 40 FPS, which I'm okay. Like with this game, I'd be okay with that if they had a 40 FPS like quality mode. You know, if you've got 120 hertz TV, I'd be good with that in this game. Something like Horizon or Spider-Man, I don't really care for that, but this, yeah, I think I could deal, you know.
Right.
Especially with the FSR3 coming to more and more games, which is very cool. Like,
because if I remember correctly, the FSR2
consoles.
is not exactly the greatest thing. It's kind of
No, but FSR3 is really good. It's
right,
not
yeah.
as good as the LSS, but it's
Right.
really good. And then their frame gen is the big thing that's coming to consoles now,
right.
which is nutty. So if they have that and they go, hey, we're using frame gen to lock you in at like 40, like I'm chef's kiss on that. I can deal with that. I think it would look fantastic. Keep all the bells and whistles, and then, you know, give me those extra 10 frames that help me deal with the motion sickness.
I'll definitely say so. But Lemon, I mean, are you excited for this game? You can be picking up day one. I know you're a big RPG guy, as we've stated many times.
Yeah, I don't know what day one. I mean, probably. All right. The question shouldn't be, am I picking up day one? Is the question, am I going to start playing it day one?
Okay, are you going to start playing it day
I buy
one?
all kinds of games that are still in the shrink wrap.
And you're going to play
the
them?
reviews
No.
are good. The reviews are solid. And I'm not in the middle of something else yet, probably. I like the aesthetic. I like the art style. I was like a good RPG. It seemed like an interesting idea. It seemed pretty novel. So I mean, I'm definitely interested. It's definitely on my list of games to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to it. I'm just hoping that they stick to landing because the trailers are pretty cool.
I hope so too. I mean, again, it's to show gameplay, the pure raw gameplay right now. That's obviously really good. And you know, the Twitter clips that you'll see and everything, those are obviously compressed, typical Twitter or even YouTube stuff. But again, if you can hit performance, then I think they've got a winner on their hands. Just, I think old school gamers need to realize it is not going to be press a button and then you can wait for an hour as you try to calculate your turn or something like that. There's going to be there's real-time stuff to it. There's things like dodging and everything in terms of where, again, if you've seen the gameplay, you have to time your button presses correctly. You've got to make sure it's the correct moves and stances and all that. So you're not moving, but you still have to pay attention. So just keep that in mind.